Okay, I can welcome myself back from the hospital again. I had another two stents put in, and I'll have to go back in 3 weeks also for that. So, wishing myself a refuah shlema. It's the month of ER. I'll Hashem will heal. This is the month of healing. It's Hashem. Ani Hashem Rofecho. That's what it's. The Rosh Tevos. Aleph Yud Yud Reish. Anyway. B'kitzur, it's not going to be easy to do it every week for the next couple of weeks, and I'll do my best. So today is Rosh Chodesh Lamed. It's Lamed Rosh Chodesh Nisan, and it's Rosh Chodesh Iyar also. Okay, so and it's also the outside of the famous Talmud of the Arizal with Yosef Chaim Ben Yosef Vital. So everybody should learn a little bit of Kabbalah, right? If you can. Anyway, he had quite the amazing life. Last year they destroyed his. He's buried in Damascus, and the wicked Rishoyim destroyed his kever. So it's worth it. 1 year ago they did that. Yeah, nice guys, really nice guys. Yeah. Tzaras for whom? They can't even respect, not the living and not the dead. They can't respect, okay? So we'll see who the tzaras is going to come on, okay? It says, Adam, ki yiyah be'or b'sorei seisoi sapachasoi beheres v'hoya be'or b'sorei v'neged tzaras v'hu ve'el ha'arein ha'koyin oy el achad ha'mibona v'kayan. It's a double parsha this week also, Tazria Metzora. When a person will have on his skin the flesh of seis or sapachas and baheres, it will become a tzaras, affliction of the skin of his flesh. He shall be brought to Aaron a kohen and to one of his sons, the kohanim. So only a kohen can decree that a person has tzaras. Even if a person is the biggest galador and he knows it's tzaras, he can't pronounce that. It has to be a kohen. Anyway, why is it that the pasuk writes Adam ki yihya when a person is afflicted, and not Adam im yihya, and if a person is afflicted, thereby implying that it is normal for a person to be afflicted with tzaras? Chazal tells us it's a Vayikra Rabbah Medrash 15:4. If you want to look it up, judgments are prepared for leitzim, those who mock wisdom. That's a pasuk in Mishlei. Then they say that the Bnei Yisrael learned about tzaras and its implications, they were afraid. So when they learned that the Bnei Yisrael learned about all the implications of tzaras, they were afraid. They too had seen the words ki yiyeh when a person, and they were taking their future tzaras as a foregone conclusion, like it's almost inevitable that he wants to get tzaras. Rabbeinu Moshe told them, do not be afraid. These afflictions are aimed at the idolatrous nations of the world. You, however, will eat, drink, and rejoice. So says the Midrash. Why is this pasuk juxtaposed with the pasuk of judgments are prepared for those who mock wisdom? Furthermore, what is the Midrash telling us when it says, you shall eat, drink, and rejoice? Moshe Rabbeinu, knowing that Bnei Israel were worried, told them not to be afraid. The tzaras blemishes that are going to appear are not aimed at you, but rather at the idolaters of the world. Why? They are sinners and scoffers and deserve those afflictions. As the Zohar in Parshas Tazria says in 45b, writes tzaras reveals that the person who is afflicted with it deserves it as a punishment for sinning. And even when we know that idolaters are not subject to tzaras in this world, right? The pasuk is referring to the future, when their bad behavior will ensure that they are stricken with tzaras as punishment. The Midrash concludes with the words, but you, Bnei Yisrael, will eat, drink, and rejoice. What does this mean? The Gemara in Ksubas in 61a says that someone who feels a desire for a particular type of food, and doesn't eat it will cause himself to be afflicted with tzaras. Strange, right? Accordingly, Moshe Rabbeinu told Bnei Yisrael, there's every reason to believe that if you live the way you're supposed to, you will not be stricken with saras. And if you are worried about that, perhaps you will desire a particular food and won't have the opportunity to partake of it, which will cause saras, don't worry. Moshe said, you eat, drink, and rejoice, and to make sure to eat foods they wanted, which would to make sure to eat the foods they wanted, which would ensure that they will not be afflicted with saras. So says the Zera Shimshon in this week's parsha. Everybody have a wonderful Rosh Chodesh. It should be B'shas Toiva Matzlachas. A lot of segulas on this Rosh Chodesh. So look into Rabbi Avitan and see if I might have posted them in English. Okay. Kol Tov Zaygevetch.